that they're strict about the child's grades. They need to be doing well in order to, I don't know, do whatever extra things that they want to do. Um, and then you also, like I said before, you need to push them to ask for help because as we're growing, we don't really want to ask for that help. Like for example, I wasn't doing too well in chemistry my sophomore year, so I was getting C's and D's, and my dad's like, "What's going on?" So they signed me up for a tutoring session. I would meet with her twice a week, and from there I went from C's and D's to B's, sometimes C's, but at least it's not F, okay? But but yeah, so that helped me improve. I think the first semester I finished with like a C, and second semester I finished with a B. So I was ashamed to ask for the help that I needed from my parents, but they saw that and they took control of that and I did better. So if you have when your child is growing, when you have high school age kids, just make sure you're very persistent on their grades and their education. So for the actual child concerning that, you need to make sure that during high school, especially because that's when everyone starts driving, you're making a lot of different relationships that you may or may not tell your parents, and that's where a lot of trouble can come in and just ruin stuff. So as the parent, you need to make sure that you're observational in your child's life. You know which friends, who is who, even if they have to remind you over and over again. Just make sure that you know which friend is this. Like, okay, this one has blonde hair, blue eyes. That's their name. And you don't need to know the whole family background, but just as your child is growing and becoming more independent, know who they're spending time around, so that so they don't get into any dangerous situations. Um, yeah, and just continue to encourage them, help them, make sure that they don't come off the right path. Because if they start going on the wrong path, it'll be harder to take them off of that than just keeping them on track. And then finally, for extracurriculars in the schooling system, like I talked about before with the elementary kids, you need to make sure your child is showing up. But as for high school, once again, the child will be more focused on that sport. In my experience, at least, I know a couple of my friends that were too immersed in their extracurricular activities and they forgot about school. So you just need, especially with COVID, because my class was the start of COVID too. So all that transitional stuff was hard for a lot of us, and we lost sight of the right path. So it's important that you know what's really going on in their life, help them stay focused. Um, yeah, and then just some other details. So that's high school, and then for college, just some 2 cents about college. I know a lot of the children here aren't really um, ready for college yet, but just as you, as a parent, to remember for the future, that make sure you start your college journey early. So I think my mistake, speaking from personal experience, I did start late when I was looking for colleges and trying to navigate that future career life. So for me, it made it a little bit harder. So what I would say is start early, start in your junior year of high school, looking for different colleges, for what you want to do, and all this stuff. Um, you should know what you want. Not per se like you need to know your major and have everything figured out yet, but you need to know what you're looking for. So personally, I was looking for more diversity, more the campus size, just looking at that. So even if you don't know what you want to do for the future, just make sure that you know some other basic values about what you want to do when you go on in the future. And then you should seek help. Most schools will have counselors or social workers that are working upstairs in their upper offices that are willing to help you, and that's their job to help you find out what you want to do. So if you're struggling with knowing what you want, with even finding colleges or whatever, they will help you go and find them, they'll make a meeting, a schedule, and you will be able to go from there. And then lastly, for the college advice, I would say be honest with yourself, be honest on your finances, on your personality, on what you want to do, where you want to go, because you know yourself truly on the inside. So if you're not honest with yourself, like say you're very mathematical and you say, oh, I want to go into this wrong profession when your skills are in math, why would you want to go to art? So you have to be honest with yourself with what you want to do when you're figuring that out. You need to be honest with your budget. Just a lot of things that you need to be honest with yourself about that. So yeah, they're fine, they might not be as fine as you think. So make sure you know what's going on in your child's life. Make sure they're safe. Also, make sure you keep them the way you want to be disciplined because you can really see the difference between a disciplined child and an undisciplined child is that's yeah, and then I guess just Jeremiah 29:11, that's the meaning to know all the law. I know the plans
Oh,
that
she
I
didn't just
read,
collapse it and leave it
the
on the
Lord
floor.
plans to prosper and not to harm you.
But yeah, for safety reasons. Yeah, you picked it well there.
Joe? Okay.
I would say with that, even though I guess the conversation still encourage your child to make the friends that they need and be I don't know, whatever friend that they form, make sure it's going to them from a good background and make sure that I guess they don't corrupt your child is what I want to say because, they'll learn from other people. That as well. Like for me, I went to private school, so it was I was basically the only black child in most of my. If I'm being completely real, but whereas if you go to public